What's up, everybody? Welcome to Playing the Field, a Bachelor podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Field, the sports anchor here at WABC in New York City. Joined now, as always, by our Bachelor insider, Jen Matarese is here. This is a two-part special. Gina Sirico, our Bachelor expert from KBC in Los Angeles, she will join us for part 2 of this amazing sit-down with our guest of honor. Jared Freid is here. You know him from Netflix. He's obviously a big fan of Bachelor Nation. We saw him during the Golden Bachelor doing the roasts. He has 2 podcasts, You Up and the J Train podcast. Now a published author, soon to be, with his new book coming out, Walking Red Flag, Dating Advice from Your Favorite Guy Friend, which comes out in June. He just did some shows in New York City last night at the Cellar?
The Comedy Cellar.
The Comedy Cellar, of
Greatest club in the world.
The greatest club in the world,
Yeah.
and now he joins the greatest podcast in the world.
I'm so happy to be
Jared
here.
Freid is here. We're happy to have you, man.
It is
What's
a
going
pleasure.
on?
You're the first person I've heard say my book out loud. That's, this is a big moment
Is
for
that
me.
when it like hits home? Officially?
Yeah, I never read a book, so it's weird that I've written one. Yeah.
About dating advice.
It's about dating, which is like the most embarrassing thing to tell people. If people don't have any, vision. If someone doesn't know what I do, they'd be like, why would you write a dating book? You're 40, you're single, you're overweight, you're horrible, you're ugly, and like, what do you know? I'm not a dating expert. The whole book is just personal experiences. And I think what I found is that I've become like the guy who can tell you exactly what the guy you're dating is thinking. And that's the whole thing. It's very hard for men, straight men specifically, to be open, honest, vulnerable about their dating life and the struggles they go through of why they won't commit and why they end things or why they act the way they do. And I've kind of like been the person that's had to say that for the past, 15 years of doing podcasts and doing my stand-up, is like just being that person that's like, hey, I'm pretty normal. Whatever guy you're dating is around 10% away from me. I'm not 100% different than the guy you're seeing. I have an answer for everything. So that's what the book came from. They were like, hey, why don't you try and get this down on paper? And it's all personal stories and dating scenarios that I've been in they're not crazy stories. They're all people that I enjoyed dating and scenarios that I was in and fully a part of. And then here's how I felt. Here's where I made mistakes. Here's where I wish I had done more or less or whatever. So that's the whole book. And that's kind of what I've done with The Bachelor. That's why I love The Bachelor, is like this show, whenever someone speaks bad about The Bachelor, I know it's their personal insecurities, showing themselves.
Must be.
Right. It has to be.
Yeah.
Because it's a TV show. Don't watch it.
Yeah,
You don't have to watch it. These people that get very negative about The Bachelor, they seem to have a personal issue with their own dating life or with seeing one person dating 30. I can't even find one. What the hell? So this show, to me, they go, and then the big thing they say is it's fake. Yeah, so is professional wrestling, but you still have to jump off the top rope. You still got to take the bumps. So there's first kiss, there's first date, there's falling in love, there's breaking up. You have to watch all of those happen, and you have to do those. You have to be a part of that. So when I talk about The Bachelor, it's always like, okay, here's how, and this is how the fans watch it. They go, what would I do if I were in their shoes? How would I react? Here's how I do it differently. That's why people get very emotional, have very strong opinions of The Bachelor. They go, well, that's wrong, because I would have done it differently. So that's why I love the show. It's just an easy way to talk about real things.
How long have you been watching it for?
I think JoJo was my first season.
Okay.
That was my first. I'm a reality TV
And
guy.
interesting that it was The Bachelorette was your first.
Yeah, well, JoJo to me was like the hottest ever. Like I was like, she wore sweaters, like very huggable sweaters. This makes me sound creepy. She always had great sweaters on. I don't know. JoJo was very relatable. I think that was the age where I'd be sitting on the couch. I wouldn't be, going out drinking or whatever. It was like I remember the reason I started with The Bachelor. I love all reality TV. I think I've seen like a little bit of every reality show since I've been younger. I've just always watched those shows. So I was living with my younger brother. He's 4 years younger. We're 2 shirtless men sitting on the Upper East Side watching TV, and I start tweeting about The Bachelorette and JoJo, and then I'm like, well, people really have an interest in this, and then I was like having fun with it, and there's a real discussion happening about this season, so that kind of what's got me in, and then I started taking nights off to live tweet The Bachelor, and then as I was doing that, and other comedians would be like, you're taking a night off? to watch The Bachelor. And then Instagram started doing stories. And I did this thing called Dudes Watching Rom-Coms, where I'd yell at rom-coms on my Instagram stories. And then one season, I was like, why don't I take the tweets and the stories, we'll push it together, we'll make it a show. So I did my own show called The Live Scream, where I yell at The Bachelor while it's going on, and I make jokes as it's happening. I pause it on people's faces. I put my own interjections into the show. And then that's really been the fun that I get to have with the show. And the beautiful part has been like people going, again, like you guys know, there are people that really get angry about this show. And it's like crazy to me. Just don't watch. And what I did to this show is I watch it like it's sports. I'm having fun with it. And I'm having fun with it in the way I think everyone should. And what ends up happening, people come to my shows, they go, you got my husband to watch it with me. And that's a pretty cool thing. That's a added bonus. Nothing I do, when someone says a nice thing about what I do, that's never why I did it. I did comedy to make money and make a living, filling my own holes. I'm not looking to like help someone's life. But when people say that I've helped them in that way, it does feel good. So I guess I'm not a sociopath. Yeah. So this show has been the greatest random pleasure that I could I've never thought it would have gone this way. And then to go on an episode when I was watching on my couch, like to go from my couch shirtless to being on The Bachelor as the expert comedian, quote unquote. I mean, you can't dream that up. That's crazy. To ABC, to be on network TV, like to me, like I'm a network TV guy. Like I love, sitcoms and ABC, and I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So a lifetime achievement.
And listen, your appearance this season, as we saw both when you were roasting, helping with the roast in L.A., and then in the finale as well, after the final rose, we all want to know, I guess, how did that happen? Did they reach out to you? I mean, obviously they knew you were a Bachelor guy, but how did you end up actually on the show?
I think, to name names a little bit,
you can. You're
Rob Mills, who's, the head of the ABC, he's like been following me.
That's so
like
cool.
He liked my
when
comedy.
Saw he was following. We were like, oh.
I was like, oh, this guy. I was like, oh, they're watching.
Yeah.
And he's always been kind of just actually in a way that's like makes me feel really. It's really been nice of him. Like it's like he's like retweeted my stuff. Like when I do the live stream, I always try to promote it, and I'm always looking for more eyeballs and ears. So like for me when. And I wasn't really, I'm so stupid. I saw that, he's, on Twitter, I'm like, oh, he's got a big name. He's got a cool job. And I was like, but then I didn't realize that this is the guy you want watching your stuff. But he was like a fan. And he really, was like when I think in my opinion, it seems as though he went to bat for me, because he knows that I have a genuine love for the show, that I care about the show. I do. I care about the people that go on. Like, I care about the discussion. I care about the people who like the show. I think when people are mean to the show, it's like crazy to me. So I think he kind of felt that, which is really makes me feel good.
And then he just reached out to you, got an email. So how did the process
we got a guy, we want to do a roast, and you're a comedian. Why don't you come? And you seem to roast the show in a way that's, I hope, loving, so, and with care. Like, I'm not looking to ever make someone feel bad. Like, I want, people think this thing of comedians, this whole idea of roasting, it's gone in such a weird direction. No, right. You're supposed to hug after the roast. You're supposed to, get it taken back. That's why a lot of the stuff I yell at the screen is making fun of myself. Like I always say, like people always say to me, like, you're single 40. Why don't you be the Bachelor? I'm like, I'm not funny enough to be comedian on The Bachelor. Like I'm too fat. It wouldn't work. I don't look like the part. So. Like, because the worst thing that would ever happen is like Jared Freid, comedian underneath, and everyone was like, "Oh, really? How funny is he?" And I'd be like, "I have to live up to the name. I'd be too serious for it."
It would be a great season.
I think listen, but let's do my petition here. I would, if I went on The Bachelor, it would be a lot more hijinks, though. I would want like fun dates that were like actually like have something to do with my life. Like I would want to watch. Because if you date me, you got to deal with my mom. So I would my mom is a pain, and I would love to see like them all, like all the women on the date, like work at a Starbucks or at a coffee place and have to take her order, because it's like the most annoying order ever, and just see how they handle taking her order and not knowing it's her. Like I think that would be a fun thing.
That's a good one,
right? Like,
absolutely.
It would be much more like.
Pranking?
Not prank, but like prank with a purpose. Like,
Gotcha.
hey, I want to see if they could fit into my life. Because if you're the Bachelor, like that's the beauty of being that you can see, will this woman fit in my life? And then it goes the other way when they come to see your family and see how horrific your parents are.
That's why they save that part for last.
Right. As far as career moments, getting on the show, where does that rank? It's got to be pretty high up there.
It's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
It's in a weird way. Like it is like I've done a lot of other things. I don't know. I never really. I sometimes I have a moment where I'm like, that's cool that you did that. Like, I did the Tonight Show. I was like, that was always a goal, but it wasn't like, I didn't like sit up at night dreaming of going on The Bachelor in the same way I didn't sit up at night dreaming of going on the Tonight Show or having a Netflix special. I just want to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Like anything that serves that is a wonderful thing. Like anything that lets me do stand-up comedy. Like, I think Kyle Kinane, who I've never met, but I took this piece of advice. Stand-up's the prize. You get to do stand-up if you do all the other stuff. And all the other stuff I really like doing. So it's kind of like, who has it better than me? Nobody.
Is there a goal or something on your bucket list that you'd like to achieve that you haven't yet? Like maybe being in like a movie or something?
Oh, I was just in a movie. I was in a indie film called 31 Candles. You can go watch it. It's a rom-com about a guy, Jonah Feingold, who made it. He's the star. He wrote it. He's getting a bar mitzvah at 31 because he wants to like get with the bar mitzvah tutor. And then I'm the douchebag brother-in-law. And so I'm in it.
Funny.
Yeah.
Right up my alley.
I mean, it's fun. It's a fun movie. I brought my parents. We went to the premiere in Delray Beach, Florida. Median age was 85.
Of course, right.
Yeah, and we go in the theater. I haven't been to the movies with my parents since I've been 12.
Yeah.
And my parents just talked the whole time. Like they wouldn't shut up the whole time. They
Was
said
the whole theater that way?
yeah, maybe I didn't hear the whole theater because I was like, shh. Like literally a preview came on. The preview ended. My dad goes, no. Just live reviewing previews. Yeah, it was horrific. I'm like, hey, you guys, like, I'm in the movie. Like, why don't you they just loudly talking during the whole thing. So I have to watch it again to hear it without my parents' DVD commentary. So the goal, no, I don't want. I have a special taped. It's already done. It's all about going to the beach with my parents. It's a 1-hour stand-up special about going to the beach with my parents, about vacation with their parents, about being on the cell phone plan, about my parents paying my cell phone plan at 39 years old. It is taped. It is ready to be sold. I'm just waiting for someone. Hey, baby, ABC.
Hulu?
Why don't we put it on
Why
Hulu?
not?
What are we doing?
Let's do it.
What are we doing, Hulu? So you got to speak these things.
Like ask him to like.
I got to say, I want to talk to Rob. I got to say something because I think it's, I'm not here to compare, but it is my greatest work. It is the thing I'm most proud of. People would come up to me after I worked on it for 2 years. 2 years of doing these same jokes. I got tired of my own voice. And it's all about my parents. And it's all about kind of just like, dealing with like the millennial boomer relationship, which I think a lot of people can connect to. And everyone who came to it would be like, that's my parents. And then I started telling people to bring their parents, and I could just see them like hitting their dad, being like, he's talking about you, you idiot. So that is my goal. That's my only goal right now, is to get that on, have that be seen by everyone.
You travel with your dad a lot.
Yeah, listen.
Where do you guys go?
Well, we just went up to Oregon, did some hiking up in the mountains,
Love
drove the coast. Dude, it was great.
Love it.
Father-son bonding. Now, I will say...
He's still hiking?
Yeah, he's still hiking. If Mom was there, it might have gone to another level similar to what you talked about in your stand-up. The whole dynamic is different once Mom joins the party.
I talk about that all the time with The Bachelor. I'm always like, they'll like show like a hotel they're staying at. I'm like, if my mom was there, no way.
Forget about it.
Change the rooms. This ain't right. Yeah.
We were staying at some lowbrow kind of places on the road trip.
I love
that about that.
So where did you start?
So we flew into Oregon, did Crater Lake in Eugene, just outside of
I've been to Eugene.
Went down to the Redwoods.
Amazing.
And then drove up the coast, man. It was absolutely spectacular.
That's quite a drive. That's Goonies.
It was Goonies, yeah. We ended up in Astoria, did the whole thing.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's
saw the beach where they filmed everything.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it was a huge deal. So
that's my favorite part, like going and doing stand-up. You go to these places, like, and you're like, man, I would have never
have been here.
Yeah,
never have been there.
If it wasn't for this weird, jokes I'm gonna tell, like, and you go and see the Goonies where and you're like, I can't believe I'm looking at like, that's not like, that's not Venice, like, it's like, if you go with your dad, it's a special trip, but so that's cool.
You were telling jokes in Los Angeles when you were doing the roast. What was it like being there with the women and being there with Mel? And I love how you were ribbing Mel too. Like that was
the whole point, is to show that this guy, Mel made a huge mistake. He goes on a podcast and he starts saying, I don't want to date women. If they're over 60, I'll cut them. Which is like, dude, do you even know the premise of the show? Like, and like, this is real talk. Like, I'm not looking to like I love the show. That's why I want to protect the show. You look at the guy saying, so like, the guy saying, I don't, cut it, you go, is the goal that, what are you talking about? Like, do you know, whoa, what was pitched to you, man? Like, who do you think's coming on the show, right? Like,
when it came out, I was like, what is he talking about? Like,
right.
He has to be joking. And then it wasn't a joke.
It was like jokey,
oh.
It wasn't, it didn't.
Not funny to women in that age group.
Right. And also that's the whole point of the show. People, and the whole point of, relating to it, and that's why the Golden was so successful. Mm-hmm. It was so much like my life. Like these people that are getting older and being single and being thrown back onto dating apps and not knowing how to do it. This is exactly what I've done for 15 years on my podcast. Like, this is what we do. We talk about modern dating because it feels like you can't ask these questions. And then you see these people going through the same thing as you. None of them are sad. All of them, like, I think we have in our head, like, the idea of, like, people in their 60s. They're all fun and beautiful, smart, with it, good to go. And then they're looking for someone. And when he said that, I was like, what a stupid comment. And then I met him and he's a nice guy. And you're like, and also you see the women, you're like, dude, you really? Like, you're going to be fine. Like, they're all, right, exactly. So it was fun to go on the show. And like, and I think that's why we had the roast. A good part of the reason was to be like, hey, let's take the wind out of this guy. Let's show that he's a human being and can be made fun of and see his mistake. And so we did that. So when I went and did the jokes and was like, giving them, crap, they bring me out first. It was funny. They bring me out first. We do a test round because I want to get my jokes in. So, but it's in front of producers and the camera people. There's no women. So the first run, so it is all real, but they want me to they want to make sure that if I say something good in the first, you can edit around it. So so they bring it, he goes, and now Jared Freid, and I run out and it's awkward because it's you in front of camera people and producers. And again, you guys know, we've seen it all. And it's like, here's, when they introduce me, and now Jared Freid, who's going to try to be funny, which kind of hurts.
Yeah, right.
It's like the hardest thing in the world.
Good luck.
Right. So thank goodness I've been doing this long enough where I'm like, just do your jokes, do your job. That's it. So lose your insecurities. It's okay, like as much as you can do that. So I come out and Mel brings me out and he's like, and I just start joke. And you could see, he's like, what the hell is this? I was really going at him, and he was like his eyes widen, and then all the producers and camera people, they're all laughing, but holding in their laugh. You could see, I was like, oh, these are hitting. We're good. And then, so I felt even better. So then they go, okay, we're going to bring in the women now. And I'll never forget it. Earlier that day, he had made out in the pool with one of the women.
Nicole,
right?
Yes.
Again, to tell people, all these conspiracy theorists who are out there, it's not real. The producers are involved. Not really. Not from my vantage point. I'm not looking to protect any show here. I'm they're the women, they bring them in, and they're low energy, and they're come on, and okay, so the kiss affected the group.
Yeah.
This is a real thing. Again, WWE. This might be, put together, but you got to take the bumps. You got to watch a guy that you're supposed to go on dates with make out with another woman. That's hard. So then they go, come on, come in again. Let's go. And they bring in the women. They get them all jazzed up, and they're like, woo, and then they go, and Jared Freid, and they're like, ah! They don't know me, for the most part. If maybe one of them's like, oh, that guy my daughter watches on TikTok, and so I come in, and they're very nice, which is kind of them to fake it, and so then I start doing the jokes I did before, but I have 10 more. I came prepared. This was my Super Bowl. This is why I'm always annoyed when someone's like, oh, that Tom Brady was oh, wow, they really went hard at me at this roast. And it's Do you realize comedians, like you go onto an NFL field, you're getting yourself jacked up to try and like tackle someone. Everyone does that for their career moments. Like, what do you think? We're all just losers who aren't competitive, aren't like wanting more. Like,
you rolled out of bed, no plan.
Right? No, I came on here like this was Roman gladiator heading into the fight the lion. Like I was like, and so like I see. So then I go into these bits and these jokes, and I'm like, Mel's like, he's got more. Like you can see it in his face. And then the women. What I thought was funny, and again, like I'm a laugh sommelier. Like I know the difference between fake laugh, good laugh, bad laugh, annoying laugh, laughing at me, laughing with me. I've heard enough laughs that I can, sip on the laugh and know what's going on. When they faked it, it was a loud laugh. But when they really felt that I made a good joke, the women went, oh, like they would like, it was like guttural. So I would like get half big laughs and half like, oh, whoa. And I was like, those are the good ones. Like I could tell, like it was and then that got done. And I was like, we did it. That's my job. I'm happy with how this went. And then they go, okay, we break out into teams and they break out into like writing groups to try and write their jokes. And I'm going to go around. And at that point I felt really good about it. Cause I was like, all right, I got that part. The part that's going to be on the show is done and good. All this is, cake, it'll be good. So I had the best time. And then, yeah, it was just a great time. I loved it every minute.
It's funny you say that about the laughs because maybe they felt a little guilty laughing at Mel and were worried if they laughed too hard.
Absolutely.
Feel, uncomfortable.
Listen, comedy can be uncomfortable. That, and jokes have honesty to them. That's right. The hard part. That's why people get offended. Like there's all this anger about people being offended. I don't care if someone gets offended. That's their right. Like it's only because I think people get offended because they're hearing other people voice their pleasure in the most honest way they can. That's a bodily reaction.
And don't you think as a comedian, if you didn't offend someone, it means you're not doing it right?
Right. If you're not saying something, you're not being honest.
Right.
So you need a little, and it's like, I don't do any joke to offend anyone, but like, if someone goes, whoa, too real. Yeah, I did my job. Like, sure. You got to like go right to the line as much as you can. So, I mean, like I have it all the time, even with like my act, I'm not there to offend anyone. And some people go, I related too much to it. And I'm like, good. That's
nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, did you have so much fun on part 1 that we can have you back for part 2?
I'm here for the day. I'm moved in. I'm sleeping under the desk.
Nice.
I was wondering where that pillow came from. Now it's all starting to make sense. Well, listen, it was great to get this angle of The Bachelor, but we've got so much to talk about when we talk about Taylor, Frankie, Paul, and all this other stuff. We can't wait to get your thoughts on Mormon lives and all this other stuff that we have going on for the next season of The Bachelorette. He is Jared Freid, and Gina's going to be there too, right?
I hope so.
For part 2, we do hope so, that Gina's going to join us from Los Angeles. We are so happy you were here with us for this episode of Play in the Field. For Jared and Jen, I'm Ryan. We'll see you next time.